Women with few or no friends have these 5 characteristics. Let me say something that might feel uncomfortable, but deeply validating. Some of the most emotionally intelligent, self-aware, and self-respecting women I know don't have many friends. Not because they're bitter, not because they're difficult, and definitely not because they're unlikable, but because the way they move through the world makes casual connection incredibly hard. If you've ever felt like you don't quite fit into female social circles, if you've ever wondered why small talk drains you, if you've ever been called too much, too deep, or too private, this video is going to feel like someone finally turned the lights on. Because today we're talking about the 5 traits women with few or no friends quietly share, and why it's not a flaw, but it can become a lonely lifestyle if you don't understand it. Stay until the end, because the last point might change how you see yourself and your future friendships forever. Number 1. They crave depth and reject superficiality. Let's start here. Most social interaction runs on lightness. Small talk, casual updates, social media chatter, surface-level bonding, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some women simply cannot live there for long. They crave depth the way others crave excitement. They want conversations about life, purpose, emotions, growth, relationships, fears, dreams, identity. They want honesty, realness, substance. And when they try to take conversations there too quickly, people feel uncomfortable. They get labeled too intense, too serious, too deep, hard work. So eventually they face a quiet decision. Do I perform connection or do I stay authentic? And many of these women choose authenticity, even when the price is fewer invitations, fewer group chats, fewer brunch plans, because pretending drains them more than solitude ever could. They would rather sit alone in peace than sit in a crowd feeling invisible. Number 2, they refuse to bond through gossip. Let's be honest about something many women rarely say out loud. A lot of female social bonding happens through talking about people who aren't in the room. Sometimes harmless, sometimes entertaining, sometimes deeply unkind. For many groups, gossip becomes social glue, but these women, they feel deeply uncomfortable participating. They change the topic, they go quiet, they defend the absent person, and suddenly the vibe shifts. Not because they think they're better than anyone, but because their moral compass pulls them in a different direction. And here's the painful truth. When you don't participate in group bonding rituals, you slowly stop being included in the group. Popularity decreases, invitations slow down, distance quietly grows. They keep their integrity but lose social ease. Number 3, they are extremely selective with trust. These women do not collect friends. They choose them slowly, carefully, intentionally. They don't open up quickly. They don't overshare early. They don't assume good intentions automatically. And in a world where many friendships start fast and casually, this can make them appear cold, distant, unapproachable. But the truth is much deeper. They are emotionally investment-minded. They don't want surface friendships that fade. They don't want performative closeness. They don't want relationships that exist only out of convenience. They want emotional safety, loyalty, consistency, depth. They want the kind of friendship where silence is comfortable and honesty is safe. And because that is rare, their circle stays small. They would rather have one real friend than 20 situational ones. Number 4, they have a strong and rich inner world. This one confuses people the most. Society equates being alone with being lonely, but these women can spend entire weekends alone and feel peaceful. They read, they learn, they reflect, they create, they plan, they grow. Their life doesn't feel empty without constant social stimulation, and that challenges the social narrative that happiness must be loud and crowded. Their happiness is quiet, internal, grounded. But here's the important nuance. Being comfortable alone is healthy. Hiding in solitude out of fear is not. And sometimes the line between those two becomes blurry. Number 5. They've been hurt and became protective. Most women who live this way didn't start this way. They trusted before, they opened up before, they showed loyalty before, and somewhere along the way, they experienced betrayal, exclusion, manipulation, friendships that quietly disappeared when they were needed most, and they learned. So now they move slower, they share less, they observe more. From the outside, this can look like emotional distance, but inside, it's protection. There's a constant inner tension. I want connection, but I don't want to be hurt again. And sometimes protection wins. Solitude becomes a safe space. But safety can slowly become isolation if we never reopen the door. If you recognize yourself in this, you don't need to lower your standards, but you do need to examine whether your walls have become permanent. Ask yourself honestly, am I alone because I'm peaceful or because I'm afraid? Am I protecting myself or avoiding vulnerability? Am I seeking quality or perfection? Because real friendships don't require you to shrink your standards. They require you to open your heart intelligently. Slow trust, clear boundaries, room for imperfection. Connection doesn't require perfection. It requires courage. And sometimes the next meaningful friendship in your life is waiting on the other side of one small act of emotional risk. And if this video felt like someone finally understood you, let me know in the comments with the word "seen." Share this with a woman who always says, "I don't really have many friends." She may need to hear this more than you realize. And if you love deep, honest conversations about womanhood, growth, and emotional intelligence, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join this community of incredible women. I'll see you in the next video.